What is going on, everybody? Art Eddie here for another Geek Show. With me is my homie, my main man, Patrick J. Quinn. What's up, sir?
What is up, amigo? How's things going over there with you? You got snow, didn't you?
Yes, I believe it's going to be a white Christmas.
Everywhere in North Carolina. The cars are crashing all over the place because people don't know how to drive. They live in the South. They don't know what to do.
Exactly. And then they'll feel blue. It's my daughters were off school yesterday and the day before and had a delay today. So it's like, oh, man, here we go. I even joked. I'm like, you're probably gonna have to go to school on Christmas if you keep on missing days. And they're like, what?
If I was their age, I would just go to school like then, even if it wasn't school time. All right, well, everybody's watching. Tell us where you're watching from. Let us know where you are, city, state, country, region, anywhere. Let us know because we like friends.
Yes.
So pop them down into the look. Evelyn's already on top of it. Evelyn knows what's up. Stark City, Mo. MO stands for Monrovia.
Yes. Gotta give a shout out to
Monrovia, Evelyn.
All right, today's show title is going to be, or the theme is Holiday Toys Then versus Now. Which era is better? We might be a little skewed on where we think is what toys are best in our world. If you have a really good reason why you think, the generation, our generation, or now our kids' generation have better gifts and why, you'll be able to have a chance to win an Amazon gift card. Patrick and I will kind of sift through the answers. And today, this show is being brought to you by our good friends over at Hotspot Shield. Hotspot Shield provides secure and private access to free and open internet, enabling access to like social networks, sports, audio, and video streaming, news, dating, gaming, wherever you are. Plus, one account of Hotspot Shield can be activated for up to five devices. For more information, go to hotspotshield.com. You've worked with them before, and you have their service, right, sir?
Yeah, Hotspot Shield is awesome. So basically, like that's a whole lot of talk to basically say somebody else who's maybe on your network isn't going to know where you are. They're not going to be able to get into your information. So if you're like in a cafe and you're on your phone and it's an open network, somebody can jump in and find your stuff. I don't know exactly what they can find because I don't do that stuff. But you use Hotspot Shield. You basically just turn it on and then jump on the web. And instead of it being like, oh, you're logging in from, Starbucks in Monrovia, now it's showing that you're like in Denmark or something like that, or it basically places you somewhere else. And the awesome thing is you can like pull information from other websites and stuff that you weren't able to get. Like if you are I'm not sure if it works exactly like this, but if you're in Canada and you want to watch like Netflix in the US, which is different, you can set your Hotspot Shield to be like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. I'm totally watching from like, Des Moines. And then then you get the TV shows from there. So it's awesome. All right. Nice. What is Rihanna saying?
Yeah, so for more information, go to hotspotshield.com.
Hotspot Shield.
Hotspotshield.com. So, okay, we already got someone weighing in. Hands down then. Share the battery-operated solar-powered crowd, then breaks the moment now you get out of the box. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
With the Eugene goes, with the exception of Legos, then they don't even make GI Joes anymore. Levi's saying from Hickory, North Carolina. Hi, Carrie Stoops from Pennsylvania. A lot of people from North Carolina. Brad is checking in. Got someone from Florida.
Your neighbors. You just got your neighbors to call in, didn't you? Oh, this is like verbal Hotspot Shield. I'm letting everyone know where you are.
Nice. We got Nathan saying 1995 got us with OG Transformers and Voltron. Oh man, that right there, man. That's a good case right there. I love it.
For anyone who's new to this show, almost every toy you'll mention from like the 80s and stuff is currently within like arm's reach of Art. Art has his collection is insane. So like you mentioned Stretch Armstrong, it's gonna be there. Oh, nice.
Hold on.
You mentioned Voltron. He's got the friggin' whole giant thing. You mentioned some obscure Star Wars guy from like Hammerhead. I want to see Hammerhead from Star Wars. Art's got it all.
I'd have to let my beautiful mug go off the screen and get all this stuff. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Oh, Travis, speaking of Canada, you mentioned Canada. Travis is from Canada. What up, Travis? Thanks for checking out the show. We got someone from Missouri. Oh, hungry hippos. Now I feel like Jacob, like that. I mean, Patrick, you and I are, with our kids, we get to like almost live vicariously through them, so their toys and their video games and all that stuff. But like they're bringing and they're hitting all the toy companies are hitting our heartstrings with all the retro toys. So hungry hippos, like all these different like retro video games are coming back. It's crazy, right? You there? No? Did Patrick freeze on us? Patrick, if you can, go back down and refresh, man. What else we got over here? We got someone from Roanoke. Let's see. Who else we got over here? Who else we got? We had a really good comment over here. Kyler says they seem to be toys then seem to be more sturdy and less expensive back in my day. Hello from Canada. Awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I feel like toys now are very expensive, and especially with my kids, or probably like everybody's kids, are like, what just happened? And what just happened with Patrick? I can't see him anymore. I don't know where he went. Hopefully he will come back to the show. We'll try and get him on. Ryan's from Arizona. We got someone from Canada checking in. A lot of people from Canada. This is great. Alabama. Holiday toys. You mean Christmas? Well, all holiday toys. No matter what holiday you're celebrating, we want everybody to weigh in on that. We got someone from Arizona, California. Let's see who we got over here. I think Patrick is back in here. Let's see. You there, man?
I don't know. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were like frozen. Like, let it go, man. What's going on?
I was talking. I was like, why is Art talking over me like this? I didn't know that you couldn't hear, that nobody could hear what I was saying.
At least you're back. But did you hear what I said in regards to like the toys? Like it's pulling at our heartstrings right now, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, what I said was hungry hippos. That was like a precursor to button smashing when you get into video games. He's just smashing down as hard as he can, and just like, God damn it, I gotta beat somebody in Street Fighter. But yeah, like retro games. But then not only that, but they're like doing stuff like it's like retro, but then they're also like adding on things to make it even like cooler. Like Joseph, who's right down here, he asks for, hey, there's one of them. He wants to have Uno Battle. Uno Attack. So I don't even know what that is, but it's got some kind of like device attached to it.
Yeah, it like shoots out the cards.
You see? Now I want to play Uno Attack because I'm like, yeah, it's like the old school stuff, but like with a nice new twist to it.
Do you think who would win, you or your dad?
Me.
I cheat better, so I would win.
Whoa. Brad says G.I. Joe was the theme that lasted for years, plus good versus bad. Let's see. Oh, this is
freedom whenever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe,
the greatest American hero. Jen brings up a really good point right now. Why do all games revolve around poop?
I'll tell you why. Because like all the kids are like, ew, oh, that's, and the little boys are like, oh, that's kind of funny, and all the dads are like, hell yeah, that's funny.
Carrie says game systems are better now. The joystick never worked and half the time on Atari. The graphics now are insane. Yeah, you always knew, like, if you had a friend come over and like you have the busted up controller, like, hey man, have this one. I can't go right.
You know what the worst game system for that, I think, was the N64. That man, especially if you got like a knockoff one. The knockoff one, you'd be able to, steer Mario Kart for like 8 games. Then all of a sudden you're just like dun, 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 into a wall.
Wait, which one? Which, the 8-bit or like the Super NES?
No, N64.
Oh, I'm sorry, N64. Oh yeah, I mean those controllers were like, I always felt like they would break, and that was like, I think that was the era of like, all right, you had it, because the cool thing about the Nintendo 64 was, remember like Sega and PlayStation and some other ones, you had to get an adapter to play if you had like, they had the 2 slots, but you had to get the adapter. For N64, they're like, we've got 4 right away, so you don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah.
But like you mentioned though, that controller with like, I had a red one, a green one, a blue one, and a gray one. And I remember like the gray one was just because that was the first one because it came with the box. I was always busted, and we're like, all right, the person that doesn't really care about video games, here you go.
Plus those things, man, you get frustrated and throw them. I mean, and I feel like they plan on that. So
Marcus says there's no more toy stores. What's that tell you? Hashtag answer solved. That's a good point.
Dude, there's one right around the corner from my office, and I haven't gone into it yet, but it looks pretty awesome. I know.
We should do a geek show from there. You should just like be in there, man.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a live walkthrough. It'll be awesome. I saw they had like an ET outside in the front, like this little ET doll. I was like, well, that's fun for kids our age.
Looking for a phone to like call people from home, or like what's going on? That's
he's gonna make it out of a record player and then go into the woods and turn white and get me terrified.
Northern Minnesota, CJ says toys back then were built better, although I can't deny the technology present today.
Serious. Like, can you imagine back in the day? Can you imagine thinking to yourself like, oh yeah, I just want like something that'll fly through the air semi-silently and be able to take film from wherever and make it like $50. Like drones. That's like all the kids want drones. I want a drone, kids.
I want a drone.
He wants a drone. You see?
This having your son there with the show, because we're gonna be talking about different toys. Like, oh yeah, I want that on my list. I want that on my list, right? So this is almost gonna be worse for you, man.
Well, he was just downstairs writing his list of Santa Claus a little while ago. So so we were going over it, and yeah.
What up, Chubbs? Always glad to see you.
Chubb sent me a list of hip hop from I think it was England. And Chubbs, I haven't gotten around to listening to yet. I keep forgetting, but thank you for that the other day. But now that I've seen your name here, I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna go back tomorrow, and I'll be checking all that out.
Nice. Remember Pong? Yeah, I think the system that we had it on, I think it was called Odyssey. It was like before the Atari 2600, and it was like this yellow plastic monstrosity. And like you plugged it into like the TV, it had like a special cord, and like it was this big thing. Maybe because since I was a kid, like it was big. But like I remember, like you only had like two knobs, one on like for player one and one on the other side for player two, and it was like hockey, Pong, and tennis, and they were the exact same thing. It's like, oh, let's play tennis. Great, it's the same thing.
Okay, so here's the question then, Art. If you could do all of your Christmases over again, but with today's toys as an option, would you do that, or would you just stick with like what we had back in the day? Because I think Carrie Stoops is like right on right now with this comment.
Right here, we had better toys for imagination when we were young. He-Man, G.I. Joe. So that's like Carrie brings up a great point, and you bring up a great question. Like, so does the kid version of me know that all the tech stuff is out there? Or am I just blind? Whatever happens, happens.
No, it's like you choose now, and then your whole life would erase all your Christmases, and then you would, from you being a kid, you would be able to have access to all these other things. Or would you rather just let it progress the way it did, where now you can like appreciate? My answer would be do it old school way, because now you can appreciate it. Now I can look back and be like the old fogey and say, holy cow, like this is amazing what you have. But Carrie Stoops and I know that you could have been doing this with us, like out in the dirt, with the G.I. Joe and a He-Man fighting the same battle for some reason because they're not even on the same planet.
Yeah, there's so many different crossovers and all that stuff. No, you hit the nail on the head right there. I'd agree with you. I remember I had one of my friends. He had an X-wing and a TIE fighter. When I was living in Buffalo, and what we did is to like recreate the trench scene. My dad wasn't too happy, but we were scraping along the sides of the house.
Yeah,
and all that, and like the X-wing would like it'd be like not Luke's X-wing, of course, because he saves the day and you can't have him blow up. But it was like you would have like scraping sound. Like I don't think nowadays it's like you can add an app to your phone, and it's like, oh great, now I can actually like project laser beams or like lasers from Chewbacca's bowcaster to Stormtrooper, and it's like, all right, I'd rather make the pew pew pew. And here's the thing, for I don't know how I found this out. Maybe it was just because I was like picking up a bunch of marbles and it fell on like carpet. But if you took a bunch of marbles and dropped them on like some form of carpet, it sounded like the blasters from G.I. Joe. And so like,
does it
my
really?
friends and I would like create a battle scene, and then we would just like drop these marbles like pew 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 instead of saying pew 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 pew. We just drop the marbles like, yeah, this is great. We're making those sound effects. So I'd have to agree with you, man. Back then, like you're using so much imagination. I think if we did have like the technology, if I would do anything, I'd be using my smartphone to take pictures of toys that I like, outside. Like, cause you go outside and play. That would be like what I'd be doing, but I wouldn't be like, oh, I want to download this app for this or that. Like, there was no what was that one movie? Batteries Not Included, like that old school movie. Remember back in the 80s?
Yeah, 95 is alive.
Yeah, so it's like I would so like I'd still keep that because there was, I don't know, and I felt like. How can I say this? Because people are in there. The magic of Christmas, I think, is longer back in our day than it is now.
I agree. But all right, here's a magical part of Christmas that I was thinking about because he was downstairs looking up, like he's trying to find, gift ideas and stuff like that. So he's on Amazon, which is obviously the things he would do. But how awesome was it on like Sunday when the newspaper came? And you got to pull out like the Toys R Us ad and just go flipping through and like circling like crazy. And you would always skip over like the girls' pages, like Barbie page. Oh, I don't freaking need that. And you go to the next one. You look for movies that you wanted on VHS and all the like just the straight up static papers that you needed to find the gifts you want or get the ideas of what to tell Santa Claus.
You would earmark the page or you circle it.
Yeah.
Dude, Andrew, right? I'm gonna make you hold your words, man, because he's talking about micro machines. I don't know if you can see this.
Yes,
dude, Lamborghini Countach, my favorite car back in the day. I had that was my only car poster. It was a white Lamborghini Countach poster. I got it the book fair. And micro machines, man, no doubt, right there, buddy.
Their posters at the book fair, awesome.
But they weren't like the big posters. They were like, the 14 by 11, right?
Yeah. That's so funny.
Eugene's asking, you answer first, man. I'll answer second. What do you think about the new Star Wars toys?
Me? I don't have any new Star Wars toys, man. I don't know. You're the one to answer this question. I don't have any toys around here for that.
Again, they're hitting us where they have these retro vintage boxes of the Rogue One toys. I have this one Rogue One toy that's one of the tanks that the Imperials use, and it's old school, but it's this is not vintage because Rogue One wasn't around when we were growing up, man.
I mean, chronologically, it was actually older, but whatever,
Look at you, man. Look at you. Megan says, let's see. I'm in therapy now because I learned that my coveted Cabbage Patch doll was made in Germany, knockoff. I'll be 40 next year.
Oh, Megan, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I used to get the knockoff everything though. We've already discussed. I got a pair of Converse All Stars, and they weren't Converse when I was little. They were Panthers. There were 6 kids in the family, so I would get my mom was going to drop $40 for a pair of canvas sneakers on me. So I got Panthers.
Same here. My parents did the same thing. I'm not spending money on and back in the day for kids, they weren't Air Jordans, they were Sky Jordans because they didn't have the air pocket in them. So I'm not spending that money on you. I'm all right. And I remember I got these shoes these they were called Voits, VOIT, and they were
I had Voits.
Yeah, and they were knockoff Larry Bird shoes. And I remember I got clowned one time at school. They're like, "Oh, you're wearing the cut." Oh, no.
Joseph just busted this out for me.
Oh, Poe Dameron, nice.
But this thing's
I think going back to Eugene's question, I feel like they're more articulate, and then two, they look more like the real thing, right?
Yeah, and this thing, this thing is metal. This thing weighs a solid 2 pounds for this little toy right here. This is a kind of a really well-made toy. Clearly not for kids. It's made for us adults who want to put it in our office and stuff. So, Joseph,
who does that? Who does that?
No, nobody. Only losers.
Brittany says older toys were always the best. People now are so sensitive.
Heck yeah, Brittany. Brittany, what was your favorite toy though? What was your favorite when you were younger?
Favorite toys that you would transfer? Oh, Ghost, but man. One day I know I gotta see you first, but when you come to visit me, we're gonna do a show here and we're just gonna like lay out all of the toys and just talk about them, man.
It's gonna be like a 14-hour show. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna have like
Geek Show marathon.
I'm gonna be dropping marbles all over your carpet every 10 seconds.
My wife will yell, "Sky, stop making all those noise!" Levi again. A lot of people saying then Legos are incredible now, but my kids are so annoying when they make me spend money more on batteries and ibuprofen.
Yeah. Well, that's one great thing about toys now is that like at least most of the stuff is rechargeable. Man, when I was little, if batteries ran out, my dad wasn't running out to get batteries. It would be like 6 months before I could play with that toy again. You know, and then at that point, I'd have to steal it from somebody else, something else in the house, and take the batteries. Hello, Sean Boyle.
Classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Nice.
Very nice.
All the Star Wars toys. BB-8 is great. What else we got over here? I nearly had the Beast Wars Transformers toys. They deserve a glass. They deserve a glass display cabinet right now.
Nice.
What was it, Grimlock and all of that stuff? Like I know they had all like was it Optimus Prime was like a big ape or something or something along those lines. I think.
Yeah.
Could be totally wrong, but Chewie is still funny even if you're not a Star Wars nerd fan.
Nice. Oh, I think I was telling you earlier today. I watched that movie Wonder last night, and Chewbacca made a couple of appearances in it. Did you say you saw Wonder or no?
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Oh, you haven't? Wow, it's really good. This is totally off topic, but yeah, everybody watch that movie Wonder. It's excellent.
Oh, it's really good.
She read the book. I don't even know who this is. They're just like random children rolling through my house right now.
Let's see what else we got over here. I hate shopping for my kids. All they want is electronics or gift certificates. We never like that. Oh man, Ron, you bring up such a great point because like Christmas is always like, you know, if your aunt or uncle sent you something, it was like a sweatshirt or a book or whatever. You never got like a gift certificate. The only thing you might have gotten was like maybe a gift certificate to like the movie theater or Chuck E. Cheese or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But you never got something. And if you got like money for us, it was like, all right, it's going in your bank.
Never eat again. Of course. Yeah. Your food bank. You're just about to buy milk for the week.
No,
thanks,
like
Aunt Margaret.
Yeah, thanks for this box of Captain Crunch, I guess. Thanks. No, but like that's so true. Like Ron had like you never got like a gift card, and if you did get a gift card, like, whoa, when do I use this? Should I use it now? What should I? Like, we had all of those weird things. Like, what do I do with this? Right?
Yeah. Now sometimes my guys would be like, I guess the Amazon gift card. Like, right. And I'm like, shut your face.
Kelly's weighing in. He's saying toys these days are the worst.
Oh, Kelly, you just missed. Art just busted out his micro machine, his Lamborghini Countach micro machine. There it is. There it is. So yes, we remember the fast talking micro machine guy. Micro machines.
Oh, Starbright. Someone's saying Starbright. Was that like? Oh man. Starbright. I was thinking of like not Rainbow Sparkles or
Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, Rainbow Bright. Yeah.
That's the doll you're thinking of.
One of the best memories was getting an NES, original Nintendo, Mario, Duck Hunt. I couldn't believe like that whole thing where the second controller could make the ducks go crazy.
Yeah,
I never knew that. Never knew that. Did you?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even have an NES. I didn't do that. I knew it from my cousin's house. I go up there to Matt and Kevin's house and Eugene's house, and we'd be playing, and they would always be like, you know, ducking me out on the freaking ducks, and then I realized what was happening. So, ducking me out on the ducks, is that a sentence? Does that work?
Creepy callers, nice. I remember those things. It's cool that my husband or his mom kept certain toys because my daughter loves Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. Has always come up with cool stuff. That's great. Like again, my parents were collectors too / hoarders, whatever you want to say, and like we have. That's why I have all of this stuff because it's like we never let it go. Case, what we got over here? Case, yep, same thing. I already did that. Kelly's asking, has anyone seen Hardware Wars? Those would have been made some great toys. Even a Spaceballs figure. Did they come out with Spaceball stuff, or did like you have to make your own?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen actual Spaceball stuff. Somebody just posted something online though. I think it might have been Charlie Capon. And do you remember the Never Ending Story?
So, yes, he did post that. Oh my gosh.
A fake action figure of the horse in the bog, like up to its chest. It's like the saddest thing of any movie ever. And so that's Charlie Capon from How to Be a Dad. If you want to send him some hate mail, don't do that. He's actually a very, very awesome
guy. Yeah, don't do that.
But man, that brought up, I saw that and I was like, I hate you, Charlie.
Dude, that movie, I love the fact that we just go on different tangents and all that stuff. That movie was so awesome. Yeah, like Casey saying like sad stuff. Like that movie like had all the feels to it. Like I wanted to like hide out in that attic, right? That was so cool.
Understood outside.
Yes, like that movie hit like on all the stuff that as a kid, like, man, I want to do that. Man, I want that. That's awesome. Like, how do you do that? And all of a sudden he's riding. I'm like, what? Like, yes, this is what I want to do.
I never even realized that, but maybe that's what has prompted in my head. Like every gray, rainy day, all I want to do is like have a giant cup of tea, a book, and a freaking blanket, and even sit outside, but sit near a window and read. It might have been prompted by that. Damn it.
Oh, remember these when you had those cars that would pull back, wind up, and you'd launch them down the hallway?
Hell yeah, Hitesh. I still have one. This thing goes fast as F, man. I got a couple of them actually downstairs. They're Maxes. Bam! Right down the hallways. It's so rad.
One of my friends, for some reason, him and his family were into Snoopy, and they had like a bunch of these, and like they made it. And I remember like looking at it, and it was like those back then, like the micro easy bake oven, all that stuff. Like you weren't getting anything out of it. Like the snow cone, it was like maybe a freckle of taste to it, like an orange thing, like kinda. It would always like ooze to the bottom of the cup, and you had to like quickly slurp it. Like, all right, this is. Let me go to a 7-Eleven and get a slush puppy.
Yeah, like an 80-ounce freaking Slurpee.
Oh, what about the sequel? Why is there a sequel to something called The Never-Ending Story? That's what I want to know.
There should be nothing. It should be nothing but sequel. It should just continue, obviously.
Oh man. Woo. Okay. Awesome show. Love this memorabilia and like talking about like back. I think just for like our generation, we win, right? Like our era had it best.
I honestly like what they have now is great, but so much of it is predicated on what was on the toys we were tested on us that were successes when we were young, and then everything else has been kind of built on that back, you know. Sure. And if they're gonna find all this success in retro gaming and making things a little bit, tweaking it a little bit for like the new kids, but like with a little bit of technology, that just means that what we had is timeless. So we win, hands down, maybe hands up. I don't know.
Hands up, hands down, thumbs up, 7-Up. Remember that game, 7-Up?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and you're always like looking like this was like the tangent show. I love this, but my
head's down.
I'm not looking. How come he picked her? And you're always like pushing the thumb like over someone so they didn't see you, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
You had to do it like you had to keep your feet back because they look at your shoes, and then you go over and like do that. Make sure they didn't check out what kicks you had on that day.
Another topic for another day. And especially we're talking about, I think, back then the toys from back in the day, they win hands down, hands up. But if you buy toys today, that there's a lot of tech in that involved. And again, our sponsor, Hotspot Shield, is the way to go if you want to protect your family from people going in on your tech toys and all that stuff. We want to thank them for sponsoring the show. Go to hotspotshield.com. A lot of great stuff you can find there.
Yeah, if you're getting devices for your kids this Christmas, just go on and like pre-install it. And especially if the kids are going to be using it outside of the house and stuff like that, you don't want people to be able to access them and be able to find out where they are. So it's just a real easy, like it's a 2-button thing. You hit it. Next thing you know, like it's protecting your stuff. It's protecting the kids. Nobody's able to access their stuff. Nobody's able to know where you're actually getting onto the internet from. So it's just a really great service, really easy to use. So Hotspot Shield is pretty awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We always love this. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. See ya.